In the previous episode, I shared the story of the only village where guns are legal. What I would like to share in this episode is the story of Basha people and the Tree of Life. The people of Basha advocate nature and regard trees as their destiny. From ancient times to the present, it is strictly prohibited to cut down trees. When a baby is born in the village, parents will plant a tree for this small life, which will accompany the child to grow up. If someone dies, he will be buried under a tree and accompanied by the green mountains. A tree witnesses the continuity of a life. Isn't it beautiful and romantic? The people of Basha have always adhered to the teachings of their ancestors. The people of Basha believe that such a peaceful and self-sufficient life is mainly due to the precious land chosen by their ancestors. So the Basha people particularly worship trees and worship them as gods. The people of Basha say, human beings come from nature and belong to nature. Life does not bring a single silk, and death does not take away an inch of wood. From ancient times to the present, Basha has never felled trees casually. Mr. Lawang used to be the Communist Party branch secretary of Basha Miao village, and he told his story and his life tree countless times to the outsiders. Lawang is 72 years old. His father passed away when he was a baby. When he was 5 or 6 years old, the village elders brought him to the tree and told him, "This is your tree of life. It is to bless you, and you must take a good care of your tree." As a teenager, Lawang joined the People's Liberation Army of China and became an engineer. In the 1960s, he participated in the construction of Beijing Metro Line 1. After he finished his service in the army, he returned to Basha Miao village because there was his life tree here and his roots were here. However, Basha people who regard trees as their lives did cut down a tree that has been recorded in the history. In 1976, the Mao Zedong Memorial Hall was built in Beijing, with raw materials donated from all over the country. According to the official statement, the villagers were very saddened to hear the tragic news of Chairman Mao's death. With a love for Chairman Mao, they donated the largest camphor tree in the village to Beijing to build the Chairman Mao's Memorial Hall. In fact, things were not so simple. In the 1970s, the villagers' love for Chairman Mao was unquestionable, and their reverence for trees from generation to generation was also unquestionable. The villagers' emotions were complex and entangled. After multiple meetings and discussions among the villagers, and after intense ideological struggle, it was finally decided to dedicate a 1,000-year-old camphor tree located on the small hill in front of the village to the Chairman Mao's Memorial Hall. The entire process is not as resolute as some media claim, which is in line with common sense. However, the Basha people, who regarded trees as their destiny, believed that every tree had a soul, and they could not bear to personally cut it down. Therefore, they decided to invite people from other villages to cut the tree. On that day, the Basha people completed this ceremony with the most solemn and stern etiquette of the Miao ethnic group. The whole village knelt on both sides of the camphor tree and shed tears, expressing condolences to Chairman Mao and admiration for the tree with extremely complex emotions. After the tree was cut down, 2 liberation trucks were loaded, and over 2,000 people in the village stood by the roadsides, watching as the camphor wood was transported out of the village. To commemorate, they built a pavilion at the tree site where the huge camphor tree roots are enshrined for villagers and tourists to worship. According to the design requirements, the raw materials of this camphor tree were mainly used to make the north and south gates of the Chairman Mao's Memorial Hall. Nowadays, Basha has become a well-known indigenous ethnic cultural tourist attraction in Guizhou province. Lawang's Tree of Life and the Camphor Tree Memorial Pavilion are located on the way of the entrance to the village. The cultural heritage left by our ancestors provides a treasure trove of resources for today's Basha people to develop tourism. Although Basha still has a game and balance between commercialization and the original ecology, the Basha people's reverence for trees has never changed. Lawang has built a new house, opened a farmhouse restaurant, with his sons doing farm work, his daughters-in-law doing embroidery, and his grandchildren around him. The whole family is happy and harmonious. Because of his good image, he has also become the spokesman of a certain brand of baijiu. It seems that Lawang has been blessed well by his tree of life.